Welcome to Vlogmas Day 13. In today's Vlogmas video, we are going to be doing some Christmas baking. Now, we're gonna film a little bit of this now, and then you'll see me in different clothes and all of that, because we are taking my mother-in-law out for lunch. But I wanted to get some of this started because I have 4 things that we are going to bake today, so I could go ahead and get a few of them done and finished before we go to eat lunch. So you guys, I'm still in my PJs.
I'm not.
If you have never seen one of my videos, welcome. I will tell you that I keep it real around here. I do not dress up and put makeup on to do baking or cleaning or anything like that. This is how I would do it if I did not have this camera on. So that is how I am.
I made a box for mommy.
Yes, Derek is making Christmas presents. So I keep it real around here. So you see me in my pajamas. Most of my Clean With Me videos are in my pajamas. And today, the first half of this baking video is gonna be in my pajamas. So, we're making 4 things today. If you did not know this, I am gluten-free. So everything that I make has to be gluten-free based. Everything's got to be gluten-free ingredients. So I think most of these, I've made these before. I made 2 of them before, 2 of them I have not, gluten-free, and they've been perfectly fine. So I am going to share the recipes and kind of tell you what we're gonna do first. But before I do that, if you are not a member of this community, we would love for you to become one by clicking that little red subscribe button below. Also hit the bell notification so you are informed anytime I post videos. I post videos over organizing, cleaning, planning, and budgeting, and then I throw in some lifestyle videos like baking and favorite things and stuff like that. So we would love for you to become a part of this community, and while you're at it, hop on over to Instagram and become part of that family as well. So I'm gonna turn this camera around and share with you the recipes that I will be making today. So I'll put that in the description below. So I'll put the 3 links for the 3 recipes I have, and then for the 4th one, I will just write it in the description how I make it. So I'm gonna turn the camera around and share it with you. So the first recipe I'm going to make, it is not up here, but it is cake balls. So I have this gluten-free cake mix here, and you guys, no one around me has the cake mix that I usually use, and it is the Pillsbury Devil's Food. So I had to go to 3 different places to find a chocolate cake mix, so I hope I like this one. So we're making cake balls, molasses cookies. These are amazing, you guys. Made these last year. I made them through, I think, this summer. Great. These are wonderful. This is a new one this year. It is whipped shortbread cookies. So this is something we're trying new this year, and I hope they're better than the thumbprint cookies. And then Jen from Pretty Neat Living, she made in her baking video the world's best puppy chow. It was vegan, so I got her recipe and used it. So I will put her channel below and the recipe for this one. If you are not following Jen, I highly recommend it. She is one of my favorite YouTubers. I've followed her since the beginning of me watching YouTube. So these are the 4 things that we are going to be making today. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna make the cake for the cake balls. So the cake, how you do the cake balls is you have to actually make the cake. So I will make this cake, cook it like I was gonna eat the regular cake, and then you mix the cooked cake with cream cheese, and then you roll them into balls, and then you dip them in white chocolate. So this is the chocolate that I'm using this year, and it actually comes with the little paper tray in there, so it's not nearly as messy, and then when you get finished you can just dump the tray in the trash. So we are going to do that first, make the cake, get it baking, and then we will start the puppy chow. got the cake in, and it tells us to cook it for, I'm gonna put this, it says 24 minutes, but I always do it a less time because sometimes it cooks faster than what oh Lord, I just turned the microwave on. This is not gonna be a good baking day, Lord. Okay, so we're gonna put the timer on 20 minutes, and now we are going to start the puppy chow. Okay, so I've got everything that I need. So I've got the chocolate chips, I've got margarine, and I did have some margarine in there. I think my husband accidentally bought it. We usually use butter. Peanut butter, I went with the natural Peter Pan peanut butter. Then I've got vanilla, rice squares, powdered sugar, and I've got 2 more bags of powdered sugar in there. And plastic bags, I don't have large ones. We're gonna use this. We're gonna see if this works to mix this all in here with the lid. Now I've got the first part of the baking done, and my whole kitchen is cleaned up and ready for the second part of the baking this evening. So I'm gonna turn you around and show you what I've got done. So here is the puppy chow, and I think the Ziploc bags would have worked better, but I didn't have those, so this will work. So I just took I had to do fewer scoops, and then I actually had to use a spoon at one point to make sure everything was combined. It produces a ton, you guys. That is a lot. So I'll put a lid on this. This is completely ready to go. I've got my area all cleaned up. I did some dishes. I've got that soaking because it's got peanut butter in it, so I'm gonna soak it. Then after we get back from eating, I will clean that out. So I've got all the dishes ready to go for the second part. And then I just put everything that I have used for these 2 things over here because I'm sure I'm gonna be using them again this afternoon. And then this area, I went ahead and wiped down everything. I need to turn the oven off. Okay, and then the cake is here. I put it on top of a cooling rack so that the air could go underneath it as well. And I'm just gonna leave this paper towel over it so nothing flies and lands on the cake. So once that cools, we will make the rest of the cake balls. I am now back from eating, and I think the cake is cool, but I forgot to pull out the cream cheese and let it cool off, or become room temperature, not cooled off. It's been in the refrigerator. So I'm gonna let that kind of get warm for a minute. And while we're waiting on that, we're gonna start they call these molasses cookies. So we're gonna start the molasses cookies. Okay, so now we're gonna put our mixture in the refrigerator, and it needs to be refrigerated for 10 to 15 minutes. Well, I'm gonna only put it in here for 10 and then check it. And then we are going to start finishing up the cake balls. Now to the cake balls. So I've got a piece of parchment paper ready for the actual cake balls, and then I pulled my cooled cake out, and then I have 1 block of cream cheese in here, and I did stick the cream cheese in the microwave for just a second to make it a little bit softened. So all I'm gonna do is I've washed my hands, and I'm actually going to combine the cake and the cream cheese together, just kind of crumble it up.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings we bring to you and your kin.
got all of these rolled out into balls. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna switch out. So I'm gonna put these in a bowl and refrigerate them so they're a little bit hard, because if you put them in the chocolate like this, they're gonna fall apart. So I'm going to get the molasses cookie dough out, get working on that while this cools a little bit in the refrigerator.
We won't go until we get some. We won't go until we get some. We won't go until we get some. So bring some out here.
So now I have those cookies in. I've got one pan of 12 in, and then I have a pan of 12 ready to go in next. And then I had 5 more over there. So I've got all this kind of rotating through. So now we're gonna pull the cake balls out and get that completely finished. Okay, these have firmed up and they're nice and they're a little bit hard. So what we're gonna do now is we are going to melt our chocolate. So for our chocolate, I'm using the Candy Quick Vanilla Microwave with the microwavable tray. It is Log House. This is gluten-free, so it's got the tray in here, as you can see. So we just take the plastic off. And you guys, this is super easy. Then when we get finished, this can be pitched. Round 2 is now finished. I have got the last set of the molasses cookies in the oven, and I've got all of my cake balls dipped and they're ready, so they're just gonna cool. So we've got about 1:40 for the 5 that are in the oven. I've got my area cleaned off. I've been trying to clean as I go. So I took the parchment paper off the tray and it's ready for the shortbread cookies. And then all of my molasses cookies are here. You guys, the parchment paper did so well that I almost didn't even have to use the spatula to get them off of the tray. So they will sit here and cool completely. And then I will take them and dip half of it in white chocolate and put sprinkles on the top. So those are ready for the final step, except for the 5 that are in the oven. I've got the entire area. I've been trying to clean as I go. So I cleaned my bowl out and it's ready. So all of that, I need to see if I need anything over there. All of this is clean. And there are my cake balls completely done. And you guys, I am not perfect when it comes to stuff like this, but they'll taste just fine. So they will cool completely, and then I will put them in a container and put them in the refrigerator. So everything's kind of picked up. I still have a few things there because I'm not going to completely clean it until everything is done. So now we are going to move to the shortbread cookies, if I can find the recipe. Okay, you guys, I'm thinking this needs to be my intro pic because this is crazy. I've never had this happen before. I put stuff in there and it just popped all over the place. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get the vacuum cleaner up here. So see, I'm not the best baker or cooker or whatever you want to call it. I just got this mess all over the place. Okay, I finally have my mess all cleaned up. It took me about 15 minutes to get that cleaned up. So now I've got all of my batter ready to go. So it told me to lightly coat my hands with cornstarch, roll these on a ball, put them on an ungreased cookie sheet, and then press a fork on the top. So that is what we are going to do. I'm at a standstill with the shortbread cookies. I've got one pan in and I've got the other one sitting here waiting to go in, and this is gonna be a long process. Ow! I just dropped the candy or the chocolate on my toe. I've got a lot of batter in here, so that's gonna take a good amount of time to get all those going. So, yep, look, this just fell. I didn't know it was open on one side. So I was going to open the other end and it fell out and hit my toe. That's probably gonna bruise. And it cracked the chocolate. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get parchment paper put down. I'm gonna get this chocolate melted and we're gonna do the molasses cookies. Dipping the molasses cookies halfway in to the chocolate, and then we'll be done with those. So the molasses cookies are basically done. They just have to sit like the cake balls and cool off. I think they look really good. They're soft, and I need to let them completely dry before putting them in a container. And the first batch of shortbread cookies turned out great. Now it said to sit on the pan for 5 minutes and then move it to a cooling rack. So you guys, probably the next hour is going to be spent cooking the shortbread cookies. So the first set of shortbread cookies are done, and I've already got another set in. So I am going to end this vlog right here. I'm gonna show you what everything looks like first. So I'm gonna turn the camera around. So this is the third set of cookies. So this is the third set of cookies that's going to go in, and look how much dough I have left. I mean, that's gonna make a huge amount of cookies. So this is the first set, and you guys, they're kind of crumbly, I will say. Look at that. So, and I'm sure that's what shortbread means. I know, but so next year I might do something that's more of not a flaky cookie. So we will see. I'm not sure if they're good yet or not, but we will see. The dough is really good. And the molasses cookies, which I love, you guys, these are really good. I would say they're kind of like, if you're wondering what the taste is, it's like a gingerbread cookie with chocolate, dipped in chocolate. It is amazing. I really like it, and they remind me of gingerbread cookies. So those are cooling, and once they're finished, those will go in a container. Then these are the cake balls. So they turned out awesome. I love the different color sprinkles, or they call it sugar something. And then the puppy chow, and Nathan's already been in this and said it was good, so that is that. And you guys, look how much that made. It made a ton. So that one recipe could make a ton for a gathering or family event or something. So puppy chow, cake balls, molasses cookies, and the shortbread cookies. So you guys, that is all for this Vlogmas video, and any of the recipes that you are interested in, check the description below, including the cake balls. I will actually put the recipe in the description because I think I got the recipe or the idea from a family friend, and I just threw it together, and I make it every single Christmas, and everybody loves them. Like, that is probably the first thing I'm about to eat is a cake ball. So, and you can do it with any cake mix, yellow cake mix, strawberry cake mix. All you do is bake the cake, mix the cream cheese in with it, ball it up, dip it in chocolate, and it's good. I've seen it done with many different types of cake. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you've gotten a good look at my baking skills. I'm not a great baker. I'm definitely not clean when it comes to baking. Y'all, it took me 15 minutes to get that flour cleaned up off of the counter, the refrigerator, and the cabinets and the floor. It was on the top cabinets, the bottom cabinets, the floor, the refrigerator. That mess was everywhere. I even had to clean the 2 pans that were sitting there ready to go because the flour was on those 2. So y'all get to see my mess ups around here. Like I said, it's real life, and real life is messy. So I hope you give this video a big thumbs up, and I hope you subscribe if you have not already. And come back tomorrow for my clean with me. I hope you'll have a fantastic day, and until tomorrow, bye you guys.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a